Welcome back again to online learning platform of Sri Basva Public School, Ilkal. Today I am your EVS teacher here with new chapter 3 Ecosystem. So let's have a look at the chapter 3 Ecosystem. Our Earth is called as blue planet. Why we are calling our Earth as a blue planet? Yes, it appeared as a blue because it has 71% of water and only 29% of land covered it. Okay, that's the reason we call our Earth as a blue planet. In our planet, the plants and animals are found everywhere, like on land or in water or even deep inside the ocean floor. Now, let us recall the definition of ecosystem. So, an ecosystem is a community of organisms and their physical environment. Community means a group of animals related to the environment. Example, polar bear can happily be in a cold climate, okay, in a north pole. All aquatic animals can stay in underwater. Then deer, all the wild animals can happily stay in in a forest. And also the camels also happily survive in a hot dry desert. So this is what the community of organism related to the environment overall called as ecosystem. In ecosystem there are solar energy, there is a solar energy, then water, air and soil. So these all called as abiotic elements. What do you mean by abiotic elements? Means those who are not living, those who are non-living thing but natural. So these things are called as abiotic, means who doesn't have life. Okay. And also the plants and animals, these are called as biotic elements. Biotic is the opposite word of abiotic, means those who are living things. Okay, abiotic means non-living thing but natural, and biotic means living thing. Okay, plants and animals are the example for the biotic elements, those who are found in a ecosystem. Clear, children? A ecosystem consists of all different kinds of plants and animals living in a particular area or a particular habitat, particular specific habitat. They only survive in their particular habitats. Okay. So every organism is adapted to survive in its environment in terms of appearance, behavior, structure and the way of living. So different environments demand for the different types of adaptation, different kinds of adaptations. Okay. The animals and plants are always struggling for their survival because as they have to compete their needs, as they have to fulfill their needs, they are struggling a lot to get the proper amount of food and water, which are usually or shortly supplied to them. Let's see. Animals are struggling for, they are fighting for what they are fighting? Animals are fighting for their food, water and space. They are struggling to get the proper amount of food, water and shelter. And also against any kind of diseases, accidents, predators. As they survive in a forest, they have to compete against the predators and even the harsh weather conditions, the changing weather conditions. They are struggling in the forest, they are struggling in this world. Plants also struggling to get right amount of water, light and space. They too are struggling to get the right amount of water, light and space too, and also to get the right amount of minerals and nutrients. The nutrients and minerals are very important for the plants as they prepare their own food. So they too are struggling to get the right amount of the things, and also they help us to guard against the harsh weather conditions. They are guarding themselves against the harsh weather conditions, diseases and being eaten by any kind of insects. All plants plants and animals that live in an ecosystem need each other to survive. All plants and animals depend on each other to survive in this world, as they form a very close community in which one of us has very important job in this world. Nobody should independent. All of them depend on each other. Hence, together with the right climate and also the type of the soil where we get, that will create a delicate balance which is so beautiful if you observe it carefully. So both the combination of a right climate and also the type of soil we get, they will produce and balance in this beautiful world. Now have a look at the forest floor closely. If you observe the forest floor, you will get some different things such as small stones, fresh and old leaves, and even some twigs that will found on the ground of the forest. So these will mix together, and just under this leaf litter is the first layer of the soil, and this first layer is known as the topsoil. The first layer is known as the topsoil. And the upper layer of the soil where the plants grow. In the first layer of the soil, the plants grow. And this soil is normally dark brown in color and full of nutrients. It contains lot of nutrients. Then if you dig the soil, then you will get the damp but lighter in color and softer soil. If you dig still deeper, you will get softer and lighter soil. And here the roots spread out in this way as they take in food and water through the roots. The forest floor is full of tiny insects that are even not visible with our normal eyes, with the naked eyes, because they are very small in size. These insects depend upon the fallen leaves and also the dead wood. So these are the food of the small insects. And due to the early morning dew, the leaves and the twigs become damp. They become soft. So dew means the moisture that present on the leaf. Clear, children? Then the bacteria break this down further into humus. The bacteria help to break down this, that is called as humus, and also it is a natural fertilizer. So natural fertilizer is a humus, okay, that has lot of nutrients which will be returned back to the soil, that will help the plants to grow nicely, okay. That is known as fertilizer, natural fertilizer, which is helpful for the growth of the plants. Alright, children. Now let's learn more about the soil. So soil is the loose material that covers the land. So soil is a loose material which is covered on the land. The soil is made up of tiny particles of stone worn away over millions of years from the solid rocks. When these solid rocks will break down due to the heat, so we get the soil. Okay, children? It varies in color and even texture too. We are having different colors in soil and also different types of texture. It may be either soft, the soil either may be hard, or either it may be sandy or like clay. So this is the thing, based upon the texture we may identify the soft, hard, sandy and clay. By touching them we come to know the texture. Even the soil varies in color like black, red, even gravely, means the soil which has sand and also some small stones, that type of soil is known as gravely, and also rocky. So these are the types of soil. Okay, now let's move to the last topic from this chapter, and that is desertification. So desertification means a fertile land can turn into desert. It can be turned into dry land because of cutting down of large number of trees. Because of cutting down of trees, the fertile land is turned into the desert. And in the absence of trees and causes deforestation. So cutting down of trees is known as deforestation. So due to the absence of trees, we get the soil erosion. During heavy rains, the soil flows along with the rainwater. This process is known as soil erosion. When there are no trees, then the land will be moved, or soil will be moved along with the water of the rain. Rainwater, the soil will move along with that water. When there are no trees, then the land is directly exposed to the heat of the sun. The land is directly exposed to the light and heat of the sun. Then the moisture gets evaporated from the soil. Due to the heat of the sun, the moisture is evaporated from the soil, and that leads to form a dry and dusty soil. Even the strong wind blows away the top layer of the soil. When the strong wind blows, the upper layer of the soil will also flows along with the wind, and that leads to exposed to the direct heat of the sun. Then the stones and rocks crack and break with the heat of the sun. Due to the heat of the sun, the rocks and the stones will be cracked and break. And slowly the land gets covered with sand, and this process is known as desertification. Fertile land is converted into dry land, dry desert, called as desertification. Clear, children? So as we all discussed in the first class that there is an interdependency in nature, both in a living and non-living thing. So no one should survive independently. We all have dependent on each other, either directly or indirectly. Hence, land is very important for both plants and animals too. It's very important for plants and animals for their survival. Water sustains plant's life. Water will sustain the plant's life, and in turns, these plants will helps to bring rain. Plants are helping to bring the rain. How they are helping to bring the rain? So answer is, during the process of photosynthesis, there comes an word that is transpiration. Means the small vapors that comes out during the photosynthesis process, that will get evaporated and collected in the clouds. When they gets collected again, when this condensation occurs, then finally precipitation. Okay, so in this way the plants are helping to bring the rain. So an ecosystem could be very small. So ecosystems may be small, like a pond, like a village pond, or any small field, or either an ecosystem may be big or very large, like the Ganga river, which originates from the Bay of Bengal. So ecosystem may be small or big, should be considered as an ecosystem, and ecosystem forms a balance in this world. Now let's do a little activity to understand how insects are present in the soil. For this, take a glass jar and some tissue paper, make it wet. Then put those tissue paper inside the glass jar. Put a funnel in the mouth of the jar. Fit a wire mesh into the funnel opening. Then take a can with the both ends open. Put it on the wire mesh, then pour soil into the can. Then put your funnel in a place where it gets direct sunlight. The soil creatures who live in a dampness moves away from the heat and the light, and so they work their way through the soil. Through this, if you observe by using your lens, you will come to know the insects that eventually fall through the wire mesh into the jar. So this is all about the chapter 3 ecosystem. This complete your chapter 3 ecosystem. So take down the homework. What is desertification? What are the causes of desertification? Explain the term deforestation. Write the causes of deforestation in your EVS homework book.